running pals, I wanted to film a quick video for everyone who's going to do the virtual London Marathon, giving them some tips and tricks for how to make the best of your virtual race. These 5 tips are based on mistakes I made when I did a virtual marathon, so I promise you they do have some foundation. I ran the virtual Southampton Marathon. Basically, I wanted to run the London Marathon course. Obviously London got cancelled, and when it did and Boston did, I signed up for the Southampton Marathon, which was a few months later in case things had improved by then, but that got cancelled too. And they offered a virtual marathon for a cheaper amount, but they said that if people could do that, it would really help them out because it would cover the costs that they've already spent. So I was like, sounds good, I'll do the London Marathon route. I'll give them the money that they've already spent so they don't lose money as a race, and I'll have done a spring marathon. So there are a few mistakes that I made during my marathon, and I wanted to share those with you. Number 1 is I had trouble with staying on pace. So please try to have some kind of pacing, like your watch or your phone, keeping you on track. I would do a 7:30 mile and then I would walk, and that's really bad practice. And for some reason it felt like that happened a lot more in a virtual race than it would in a normal race, because you're not running with a group. When you do a normal race, you'll run with the same you'll be running with the same people for a lot of the time. So if you start in the right place, then you'll be in the right pace group and you'll eventually find your pace. Whereas when it's just you, it's all down to you. So please rely on technology for this. Speaking of relying on technology, please record twice if you can. So if you have a running watch, perfect. Record on that and your phone. I recorded only on my running watch. I didn't record on my phone. And when I synced my watch to my phone, luckily it got it onto the Garmin app, but it didn't get it onto Strava. But that just showed me that anything could go wrong. You don't want to do your virtual race and it doesn't work and you don't have a backup. So record on your watch and on your phone, or if you're on your phone, record on 2 apps if that's possible to do, or see if your partner or family member will lend you their phone to have with you as well. So record twice if you can. That's my second tip. Third tip, take a battery pack with you if you are going to rely on your phone. I think the London Marathon has an app that it's going to help you track on, but the last thing you want is to be out if you are relying on your phone and your battery goes dead. So maybe get one of those portable battery packs where you can charge up. Keep it in a waterproof thing. It's not a high voltage, so you know you can't get electrocuted, but you don't want water getting into it. So keep it in a plastic packet and have that with you, and then that means that if you run into any trouble on your run, then you've got that ability to call someone as well, and you don't want to lose that when you're right at the end of a marathon. If you're struggling, you need to have your phone available. Tip number 4, please find an easy route, not in terms of undulation, but in terms of what you know. I did the London Marathon route and I thought I knew it quite well and I planned it all out the day before, but I got quite lost. I'm not meant to be here, I went the wrong way. Whoopsie! I'm lost again. I've missed a turning. So try and pick an easy route. I'm doing the Boston Marathon virtual race, and what I'm doing for that is there's this bike path that goes from Scarborough, where we're staying. It's a seaside town in England. It's a bike and walking path that goes all the way from Scarborough to Whitby, and the path itself is about 21 miles, and then to get there it will be a few miles, and I can run around Whitby for a few miles at the end. So that's just one path, but once you're on it, I don't think you can go off very easily. So that's great. That's gonna hopefully be a good chance for me to not get lost. But as I said, I did get lost before. I got lost when I did my long run a couple of weeks ago. So just have a good route. Maybe have some loops. I was listening to the Run As Well podcast where they were talking about virtual races, and they suggested to have a 10k loop that you know really well. It's not the most exciting, but if you're just trying to get it done, then it could be the best solution in this case. Finally, tip 5 is pack enough fuel. So on my London Marathon route, I had to stop at a shop. Because I didn't pack enough water. I think in marathons before, you kind of rely on it being there on the table. So I thought I would need a lot less than I actually ended up needing. So be careful, take as much fluid as you think you're going to need, or even more. Yeah, take more than you think you need. On Runner's World, they suggested that you take 400 millilitres per hour that you're going to take. So if you're a 3-hour marathoner, I see you, then take 1.2 litres and 1.6 if you're 4 hours, etc. up. That seems like quite a lot, but if you can do that with like a running belt or a hydro vest, which is what I'm going to be using, then that's perfect. Do that, and just make sure you've got enough gels as well, because you don't want to be stuck in my position where I had to literally go into a shop because there might not be a shop available, and you don't want to run out of energy mile 23 if you're doing like a countryside run. That's not good. So those are my 5 tips, and I really hope that if you're doing a virtual race that it goes really, really well. Let me know if you're doing any fun ones. I'm not doing the London virtual race because I'm doing the Boston virtual race, and there's only so many virtual marathons that I have energy for. But good luck to everyone doing the London one. Hope it's a really good time, and hope it's a great use of all the training you did and all the hard work you put in at the start of the year. So good luck, and thanks for watching. Bye!